How is everybody doing today? My name is Master Zero and welcome back to another reaction video. This time we are reacting to 3 important questions no one knows the answers to, Universe Edition, by Pursuit of Wonder. Alright, real quick before the video actually commences, I want to give a huge shout out to Lost Elite. Thank you so much. He is my first ever Patreon ever. So sound the alarms, everybody shout hooray, shoot confetti everywhere, I don't know, just give a huge shout out and thank you so much to Lost Elite, because that is really cool to be my first Patreon. Like, hopefully I get it rolling, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot I had a Patreon before he supported me on Patreon, but super exciting. But if you guys want to join my Patreon, I have the link in the description down below, just about all my videos, I want to say. And I also have the little button over on my my channel, the little thumbnail. I have a little button there for you if you want to decide to support me. I'm not like forcing anybody to, but it's super cool just to have like the show that y'all guys want to support me that way, and I think it's really cool. But I have 2 tiers that y'all guys could just support me. You don't have you get nothing in return. You just want to show support, which will be really cool. But I have a $1 tier and a $5 tier, and I think it's pretty cool. But I added 2 more tiers that y'all guys will gain access to my Instagram account, my super secret Instagram. There, I'll do like random live streams and stuff, just like one-on-one connect with y'all guys, and then I'll post like the thumbnail of the video I'm working on a day before it actually uploads on YouTube, so y'all guys have like, you know what's happening a day before anybody else does over on YouTube. So I think it'd be really cool. But that one is a $10 tier, and then I also have the VIP edition, which is literally just the same thing, but it has more available slots. So super exciting. And y'all guys get to say that you're VIP, which is awesome. You get bragging rights, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, just wanted to let y'all guys know and give a huge shout out to Lost Elite. So thank you for the support, and I hope I see many more people to come. So thank you. Okay, on to the video. Alright, so first things first, shout out to Littlest Sackman52 over on Discord. Thank you so much for this suggestion. But I was kind of looking around, looking at all y'all guys' suggestions over on Discord and stuff, and I came across this one, and this one's by Pursuit of Wonder, and I know y'all guys saw my other reaction to Pursuit of Wonder, and I immediately fell in love with his channel. So to see another person, Littlest Sackman52, to suggest a Pursuit of Wonder video, I was really happy and excited to react to it. So I'm reacting to it. But this one, it says, I realized when I was typing in 3 important questions no one knows the answers to, an original one popped up, but he actually put in the suggestion the Universe Edition, which I am excited for, because y'all guys should know by now that I am a huge sucker for like space and like the unknown and science and like what's out there. So I have a feeling this video is going to be right up my alley, but only time will tell. So without any further ado, here is 3 important questions no one knows the answers to.
It can perhaps be a little stark, but equally profound and humbling to, at least once in a while, consider that the distance between us and the mites on a leaf is likely far closer than the distance between us and understanding the universe as it actually is.
Oh, I already love it.
Of course, we aren't clueless. We have come exceptionally far, relatively speaking. Unlike any other living thing, we are not only aware that there is a universe that surrounds and inhabits us, but we are also able to create models and equations out of it that have allowed us to extract understanding and fundamental laws of nature from the very surface of nature itself. However, despite our profound abilities and achievements, we still have some of the most basic, essential questions left unresolved on the table of everything. Unknowns that permeate into the quintessence of our existence and our experience of our existence, that no one has been able to figure out since the start of it all.
Dang. What is time? Starting off very strong.
At a young age, we are taught how to tell time, and off we go, flying through
time as a man-made
trying to
object.
keep up with it and use it as best we can. For the most part, time exists fairly casually in the background of our lives. However, to paraphrase the early theologian-philosopher St. Augustine, when someone asks what time it is, we know, but when someone asks what time is, no one has any idea.
Dang.
Starting from the Big Bang, everything moved outwardly through time and
like
space
this.
in an increasingly complex and disorderly manner. By way of the second law of thermodynamics, we know that everything moves towards entropy, from order to disorder. This creates what is known as the arrow of time, which as far as we know, only moves forward. Unlike in the dimension of space, in which you can drive somewhere, realize you forgot something at home, and then turn around to go back and get it, you obviously can't turn around and go backwards in time. What you forget in the past stays there.
We don't know anything.
Isaac Newton proposed that time not only moves forward, but also moves at an absolute fixed rate throughout all of the universe. This makes perfect sense, as it is how we intuitively experience and understand time. Your minute is just as long and just as short as everyone else's. However, a couple hundred years later, in the early 20th century, Albert Einstein provided his theory of special relativity, which disproved Newton by revealing that time is far more malleable. According to Einstein's theory, time is in fact
very
not constant
complicated
or real in the way that we are intuitively accustomed to. Rather, it is personal, relative, and partly perceptual, as in, everybody has their own experience of time, and the rate at which time passes can change depending on what someone is doing and where someone is. This, however, would only become noticeable in extreme instances, like if someone were near a black hole or were approaching the speed of light, where in both cases, time would significantly slow down. Although profound and revolutionary to our understanding of time, this still doesn't answer what time really is, or why we appear to only move forward in it, or why time is a dimension at all, leaving room for plenty of additional theoretical models and arguments to be made. There are valid theories of the universe that don't include time as a dimension, like the theory proposed by an equation known as the Wheeler-DeWitt equation. Other theories suggest that time can be nonlinear and go back on itself at the end of itself in a sort of loop of displaced cause and effect. Or, congruent with Einstein's theories, all moments in time are occurring at the same time, just like all locations in space are occurring at the same time. And the perception or sense that there is a past, present, or future is merely an illusion as a result of our continuous forward direction through it. Of course, the point here is we don't know. We simply live with time, experiencing every moment through it, coordinating every activity on it, and allowing it to pressurize our every decision and sensibility. And yet, it could merely be an illusion created by the brain's feeble attempt to understand something that extends beyond its limits.
Yes.
To quote Einstein, we do not observe
know
nature as it actually exists, but nature exposed to our methods of perception.
What is gravity?
In an ironically similar string of events, Isaac Newton proposed what is known as the law of universal gravitation in his same work that argued for absolute time. In his theory, Newton explained that every particle attracts every other particle with a force proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of their distance between the center of each particle. In simpler terms, objects move towards each other in space because of their force of gravity, which is dependent on the relationship of their masses
we don't see that one guy hit the ground
between each other. Some years later, again, Einstein proved that Newton was wrong. With this now updated version of relativity known as the theory of general relativity, Einstein discovered that gravity is not the force between two objects, but it is actually the result of the mass of an object distorting what is known as space-time, which is the combination of the three dimensions of space and
I'd love to just chill with
time,
Einstein,
creating one singular
just the stuff
fabric
he'd
of the
say.
universe. As a result, gravity works somewhat and very loosely, like putting a bowling ball in the middle of a sheet pulled tight on all ends. The bowling ball would cause the sheet to dip down towards the center and bend around it. If then a tennis ball was added onto the sheet, since the tennis ball has less mass, it would gravitate towards the bowling ball, but only because of the distortion or bending of the sheet. This completely revolutionized our understanding of gravitation and the universe as a whole. However, it still doesn't answer what gravity actually is. We can measure it and calculate it, but unlike other forces, gravity has no particle, so we can't know what carries it out. We know that mass creates a gravitational effect, but no one knows why mass creates a gravitational effect. It just does. All the galaxies and solar systems, the Earth in orbit, us on Earth, it all just seems to pull together.
Keep going.
No discernible explanation, so far as we can tell, yet.
See, that's the important thing. Yet.
We know that everything
we don't
that's
know.
anything is made up of matter and energy, being interrelated aspects of the same thing. The first law of thermodynamics tells us that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. However, if this is true, the obvious question is, what created it in the first place? It appears that either something had to have come from nothing, or something has always been. In the case that something has always been, if time can in fact be nonlinear and can infinitely regress in a loop, going backwards on itself at the end of itself, it would then be possible that there is no beginning or end of the universe at all, but a continuation of the same thing, as if the universe were breathing in and out, filling up its lungs with everything, and then emptying them back out, over and over. Or, similarly, everything is, was, and will always be across space-time for all eternity. Every moment in time and location in space has a coordinate on the map of space-time, and the map exists at all times at the same time, forever.
So fascinating.
However, in both cases, if something has always been something, where did that something come from? Who or what made it? How can anything be anything without having been made by something else? If the universe is entirely based on cause and effect, which it appears to be, how could there be no first cause for there to be an effect? Alternatively, in what is known as quantum field theory, physicists have also found that particles known as virtual particles could come in and out of existence from apparent nothingness, which is to say, it is perhaps possible that a feature of nothing is to create something. However, if a feature of nothing is to create something, how can it be nothing? And if nothing isn't nothing, what is it and what made it? Even if one subscribes to the notion of a god, that's fine, but that doesn't resolve the question of where God would have come from. Everything ultimately brings us back to the same question. How can anything come from nothing, or something be infinite? And neither concepts seem to concur with any human sensibilities, meaning there is some
really
mystery
makes you
of
think.
everything that our brains can't seem to
Video
comprehend.
is
As if
amazing.
the rules of the game were made of logic, but the reason for the game were made of something else. The only truth is, of course, no matter what anyone says or how they say it, nobody really has any idea what's going on beneath their feet, inside their brain, and above their head.
No one really
Maybe
knows
at some
what's
point
going
in the future,
on.
we, or some iteration of us, will know precisely how everything works and why, with one little equation. Maybe Newton will be wrong, and Einstein will be wrong, and thousands of other Einsteins of the future will be wrong, until someone, somehow, isn't. And maybe, for some reason, that's where we're heading. However, perhaps what matters is less about what it is or why it is, but that it is. That during this position of time and space, and in this form of matter, we can look into the nature of everything, and see that nothing is simple, and everything is insane, and that the only thing more insane would be to waste it by never marveling at how insane it truly is.
Exactly.
Never appreciating that we experience time, whatever it is, in a way that allows us to experience it at all. That the effects of Earth's gravity is just strong enough to keep us on it, but not so much that we can't move around. That the exact structure of matter, with their exact forces, formed just perfectly enough over billions of years to allow us to emerge out of the darkness for a little. Able to do this right now. Able to enjoy the apparent magic show of everything. Contorted somehow, just right for us.
Oh, I love it. Okay. That video was so good. And like, the stuff I was gonna talk about at the end of the video, like, I didn't want to talk over this because it was awesome. Like, it was so mind-blowing. But a lot of stuff that he was talking about, I wanted to talk about at the end of the video. Like, the whole people that believe in a god. Like, I of course believe in a god. Like, just because if you're an atheist or you believe in a different god and stuff, I'm not gonna bash you. Like, that's your belief and stuff. But me personally, is my opinion, I do believe in a higher being. Because all of this stuff is just, it's too perfect not to believe in a higher being. You know, like, I get the argument of, I'm gonna get a lot of heat probably, me talking about this, because religion and everything like that always seems to strike a nerve with everyone. But like he was talking about in the video, like, gravity, it's just the right amount to where we stay on the earth, but we're still able to move around and stuff. We're not going to float away into the abyss, like, through the atmosphere and stuff, but yet we're not stuck in one place. Like, we're still able to be mobile. Like, that's really, really crazy. And like, just how we're here, it is ridiculous. Like, if you look at it through a scientific method and stuff like that, everything has to be so precise. Like, the way we're here is just crazy not to believe in someone that pulled the strings, you know? Like, that's why I believe in a higher being, because it's just scientifically inaccurate how we're here on this planet, how it has the perfect amount of oxygen, carbon dioxide, everything, just everything molted into this rock we call a planet. And I am getting way too into this right now, so I think I'm gonna pump the brakes and stop. But oh, this video is awesome. It makes you think, and just my beliefs and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like I love stuff like this so much because it makes you question and just ask questions that don't have an answer to, and it's just so good, and I love it so much. So yeah, that's where I stand. I could talk about this for hours and hours, but I think I'm gonna pump the brakes there. I'm gonna stop right there. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like down below because it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos like this one. So with that said, I have been Master Zero. Y'all guys have been fantastic, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Later days.